Hello. This boring ass event? Yeah, but it's pretty easy because you can just auto it, so I don't have too many issues with it. These events suck, true, but I need pulls. Do you think Blade, Gilgamesh, Saber would be a good team? That's their best team. So yeah. Hello, random guy. Mm 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 mm. It's a vibe. I want combat events. I'm not gonna lie, because of how lazy I am, I like any events that are auto-y like this. But in terms of actual content, yeah, those are better. I'm just lazy. HSR players can't read. What do you mean Himiko's an E2 merchant? Bro, I was scrolling through like the leaks Reddit yesterday, and there's like showcases, and there's like some E2 showcases, and people are like, oh my god, everybody in HSR is an E2 merchant now. They all need their E2. And I'm like, no. You know? Like, people confuse having a good value E2 with this unit needs this E2 to actually be good. I feel like, you know? Like, I will say, I think one of the few examples of a character who I personally feel really needs the E2 because their E0 base is bad is Faye, right? But for example, Firefly can get away with E0. Evernight can get away with E0 despite having an E2 jump almost similar to Phanon. Eva can get away with E0, right? Like, there's so many characters who are still good at base, but people are like, oh, they need the E2. And this game is fucking garbage because of it. Faye or Faye? Phanon. Faye's E2 is like Fox Faye's E2 is good, but it's not on the level of like Phanon and the E2s people usually talk about. Blade unbalanced? No, not really. Blade's fine. He's just the new strongest generalist. It's the same thing like with Tribby when she first released, of everybody calling her like disgustingly broken, must pull, you know? Yeah, Aglaia was always called an E1 merchant because of her energy issues and her E1 fixing her energy issues. No, I didn't, Leon. Saw a Phanon main calling Himiko an E2 merchant. Okay, that's funny. I'm not gonna lie, that's funny. Gotta love all the Welt E4 sneaks. Oh, 100%. There are so many Welt E4 sneaks. Oh, really, Leon? A guy reposted it on Reddit? I'll check that later then. People saying this event is garbage. Is it? I haven't done it yet. Oh, content-wise and gameplay-wise, this is 100% garbage. But it's full auto, brainless, so I actually appreciate this event since I'm just trying to get the pulls. Remiel's form got leaked. Oh, I don't really care about Remiel. My E0 M-Blade did 6 million damage in AA. Yeah, the AA has like... Yeah. M-Blade scales so well against like full AoE. They should have added a 2x speed button, true. Tempted for M-Blade, but I want Himiko. I don't think M-Blade is a must pull, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can skip M-Blade. M-Blade is currently the highest value pull that the game has. But once again, it just feels so similar to a Tribby situation. He's going to be in the spotlight for a little bit, but then a ton of these teams are going to get like their dedicated supports. And so M-Blade's going to fall off. outside of his like intended teams, in my opinion. He's still gonna be incredibly highly valuable though, just like Tribby. But I don't think he's a must pull. I don't think anyone in these gacha games is a must pull. Question, what's a better investment, E1 Archer or his signature if we get another 200 pull event? Or just Rin? Well, Rin, 100%. Rin's the best one among all those. Not even close. And then after Rin, at this point, it would probably be his Sig. As insane as that is to say, his E1 just continuously loses value because he keeps getting supports that fix all his SP issues. So like an extra arrow barely even helps. Archer E1 more useless than Acheron E2. I can see Archer E1 being a little more useful in zero cycles, where you're really trying to like min-max the rotation and stuff. But outside of zero cycles, I mean, it's kind of cooked, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people are gonna get E1 Archer for free anyway, so... Or even E2. Like, let's be honest, I believe there's quite a few people who pulled E1 Archer already, and they could get E2 Archer, which isn't bad. It has its flaws because it requires you to ult, but like, implanting weakness plus 20% quantum res down, I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm just farming pulls on this account to see if I can, like, possibly get an E1 Blade early. It's pretty unlikely, but... I mean, bro, E2 Blade is... Man. Like, E2 Blade, you know? So, I just want to make it easier for myself the next time he reruns. How good is E2 Blade with Saber and Gilgamesh? Godlike. No troll. Godlike. It's probably their best investment after E1 Gilga. How strong do you think Saber will be post-nerf? The thing, it's like really easy to nerf the Saber Gilga bullshittery happening right now. A lot of people are like, oh, they're about to butcher my favorite character. Literally, Gilga can function the exact same, but all you do is decrease his cap ult energy from 600 to 300, and then you obviously match and nerf his 80% energy regen ult capabilities, right? So you now make it 40% instead of 80%. And now you don't feed RMC a billion energy. And you don't feed Saber and Gilga a billion energy either. You know? Like, I do think the Saber will probably receive a slight nerf in terms of her team, in terms of the joint attack. But it's not going to be, like, anything too extreme outside of the loop bug. It's very easy to fix this entire, like, Saber x Gilga loop thing. Very, very easy. Exactly, Verly. Oh yeah, it looks really, really fun. Yeah. The teams that will probably get nerfed, Himiko for one, Gilga's energy gen will get nerfed, and then Rin's damage output will also get nerfed. And maybe something on the side a little bit. Himiko is that strong, supposedly. I haven't looked into it much myself, but it seems Himiko is like at 60 million damage in a 300 AV simulation, which for reference, that is like almost double. No, no, she is double of Evanesia's strength in a premium team. And keep in mind, she's using things like Welt, RMC, you know, because of her working well with the free-to-play Astral Express supports. Actually, they might just nerf Rin's joint attack, to be honest. They might make it so that the joint attack only regens like 2 skill points instead of 4. I don't know. The thing is, like, even I'm not completely confident that these characters will get nerfed to a noticeable extent. Because, like, this could 100% be what they're directly planning outside of, like, the old bugs and shit. And, like, let's say, for example, Silverwolf. Like, when Pro releases, Silverwolf might be as strong, if not stronger, than all these teams. Like, this genuinely might be planned. And the thing is, though, if it's planned, holy fuck, dude. Like, these new teams are so strong. That's why I'm like doubtful, and I think they'll actually get nerfed to some extent. Not fake Gilga or Saber Gilga. That one's fine outside of the ult loop. I'm pretty sure I saw a calc where outside of the ult loop, in like a Huohuo team full E0S1 with Saber and Gilga, they're at like 24 million in 300 AV. Like that's normal. That's in line with a lot of the current 3.x teams. So it's like, I mean, I don't really care about that. It's just Archer because Rin, I mean, he has no flaws. He can shoot 5 arrows every single turn now, and the amp he can get into stainless with things like E4 Welt is just absolutely disgusting, or even M-Blade. And the Archer's situation currently is like, imagine Phanon, right? Phanon very clearly has multiple flaws in his kit on purpose so that he doesn't completely power creep the game. But then you release two supports for Phanon that legit get rid of every single flaw he has. And it makes him fucking skyrocket, you know? Like, characters do need to have flaws to some extent to make sure that they don't absolutely punch above what they're supposed to. Yeah, exactly, really. We'll see, though. It's only V1. V3 is probably like 1.5 weeks away. True, Burley. I mean, I'm all for Archer getting stronger because I have E1S1 Archer on my Anoxa account and I can get E2 now for free, but I just don't like power creep progressing that much so quickly. Then again, though, I mean, if you compare Acheron and her premium team to Cassie premium, it's probably even worse percentage increase wise. So it might be real. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I just wouldn't put it past it because they did this with Acheron. Acheron and her Annie team is astronomically weaker than Mono Rem, and it's not even close. Well, now Acheron is better, you know, because she got like M-Blade and shit, but I'm more so talking about previous team to new team. More like power surge? Well, yeah, you aren't wrong. I am misusing power creep. Creep is like small incremental increases over time. This is basically a power surge if like Himiko's power level goes live. Do you guys think they're possibly doing this because of how strong Eidolons are? I feel like that could be the thing, like, because yeah, technically an older team, let's say, you know, you're at 35 million damage, the new one's at 70 million, but then you just grab like an E2 and now you're like a lot more competitive with the new team. Because, like, for example, E2 Faye Sustainless with his best in slot teammates is on the level of, like, current DBSs. That's obviously going to change when they actually get, like, their full teams, but he'll still be able to punch and clear endgame. Unless your name is Anoxa. If you're Anoxa, you have to go to his E6 to get an E2 Phanon level jump. Actually, no, it's still less than that. I don't like to talk about it, man. I'll talk about it when Anoxa gets a Nova. Surely, right? For horizontal players, power creep is bad. Well, yeah. If you're one of those people who, like, absolutely refuses to get Eidolons on characters, then your older characters are going to fall off pretty hard. I feel like for the past little while, even grabbing E1 on a new DPS has been more beneficial than grabbing the Lycone. It used to be like, oh, E1's mid, E2's good, and then Lycone is also decent. But now, consistently, the Lycone loses to E1. Hello. If you're a horizontal investor, you just get new characters. I guess that's true, yeah. Because you're horizontally investing, you have the newest characters anyways, so you don't need to worry that much. It just ends up being a thing of like, if you are attached to an older character and you refuse to go for Eidolons, I guess that sucks. But clearing wise, you should still clear because you're just pulling every new character. Hello. Boring event? Oh, 100%. I just need my pulls. Elation Lycones have been mid? Yeah, they've all been like under 30%. But people will call Elation a cash grab for Lycones. But they'll see Himiko's 37% on her Lycone and never call it a cash grab. uh, Man, I always talk about it every time, but like, dude, there's such a double standard against new paths in this game. Do you think Rin's join attack will be buffed? No. If anything, I think I might get a nerf. No E4 Welt account bricked? True. It's actually crazy. Despite all my different accounts, I don't have a single account that's even close to getting E4 Welt. Most of my accounts have him E0. But, like, most of my accounts can't use him either. Like, I don't really have a use for him on any of them. Thank you. Create a new act for Himiko Nova? No. I don't need to create a new account. If there, I already have an account that could go for Himiko Nova, which is my Anoxa one. My Anoxa account has like a Sunday that's just sitting there, and also has an E1 Tribby that's just sitting there. I've seen that Tribby can actually work pretty well with Himiko. So. You talked about E2 Archer before. Is it good? It's not good, but because I'm getting it for basically free, it's not bad. He just implants weakness on someone when he uses his ult, and then reduces their quantum res by 20%. So it's most useful in like APOC and like more single targety bosses that won't die, you know? That's where it kind of comes in handy. But if you're going against endgame where you're trying to target small mobs, it's completely useless basically. Yeah. So my Anoxa account, for example, would be like, get the free E2 Archer, pull Rin eventually, because I don't even need to pull it right now. It's the Fate banners. They last forever. And if I wanted to continue playing on it, I'd get Himiko probably. Because I have Sunday on that account, and he's not on any team, and he's probably going to get Novad for her at some point. So that would be the Himiko account. I think I have a Welt on my Anoxa account too. It's E0, but... Where's the dog noise? My family's home, so he got his attention, and he's not screaming. If they leave for even 2 seconds, you'll be able to tell. Oh yeah, Welt is good even at like E2. Like E2 is kind of the thing you want to hit. It's just that E4 is what makes him so broken and why people abuse him. He's basically giving better than M Blade level buffs as a standard character. And then on top of this, he's also slowing down enemies because of the way his thing works. So he makes it much easier to survive as well. It's like a double whammy of value with him. Do you think Sparksy will stay in the Elation team? Yeah. I saw a zero cycle archer clear using Thirda as a support. Yeah, it's just like a hard wheelchair. She literally did nothing. They just basicked with her almost every time. People are like, oh my god, she's giving 80% crit damage. Like, Gilga gives 130% attack and 130% crit damage. Genuinely could have used Gilga, it would have been way better. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, with E1 Gil, you get the 30% defense shred. And he does more damage than Thirda, probably. With his ult. Is there any particular reason you say Gilga? I don't know. That's just how I say it. I've had my nicknames for characters questioned before as well, but like, it's more so something that happens subconsciously than consciously for me. It's just E2 Sparkle, but on E1, yeah. It also makes me that much more confident that Sunday's E1 is just gonna get changed to work without restriction with the 40% defense shred. I was a little questionable about it before, but considering Gilga's E1 basically has the same value as like a Sunday E1, I could see it for sure. Sunday E1 is probably going to be a new fat buff for Phanon. That's like one of the biggest buffs that a Sunday Nova would be. You buff his buffing capability, and then you also make his E1 unrestricted, so now Phanon gets 40% more defense shred off of just an E1. That would be goated? Oh, 100%. Oh, 100% Blad. I think my Anoxa account is definitely one of the greatest examples of benefiting from the free characters. My Anoxa account got E1, no, E0S1 Archer for free, and then free Sparkle, and then I pulled E1 Archer. So I have E1 S1 Archer with Sparkle, and that, him and Anoxa have been allowing me to full clear all endgame content outside of like AA, of course, like since I started playing on that account. It's literally only been Archer and Anoxa that I use. Free-to-play account might not be free-to-play after Phanon's rerun Sag. Oh, you're trying to get the E2, I imagine? What is not worth it to play even mean? It's a 3-team endgame mode with some of the most heavily shielded buffs slash debuffs, depending on the teams you're running. And it's the endgame mode that has gotten the most HP inflation recently. That's what I mean. Like, it basically is a whale endgame mode. You can clear it free to play because I already have, but it's like there's so much shilling and debuffing going on for certain teams that it's just stupid to use to even compare a lot of the time. Although also, yes, it giving basically no jades and only self-modeling resin, which in of itself is a gamba on whether or not how useful it is also a part of why I think it's useless. Like, you can make the argument that the premium jades from the normal endgames don't matter that much, sure, because you're only losing out on like 2 or 3 pulls if you don't max clear the end game. But it's technically even more useless when it comes to AA rewards, because you might be able to slightly boost one of your relics to make your DPS like 3% stronger. And once again, it's RNG. There's a chance you full clear AA, you get all the self-modeling resin, you get the dice from AA King, and you didn't benefit at all. Every endgame mode is shill banner mode. Yes, but not every endgame mode has the HP inflation of AA, which makes shill much more counterable. You're kind of ignoring the point of like AA bosses have like double to triple the health of normal endgame bosses in the normal 3 endgame modes. So it's just much easier to counter shill when they have that low of HP. A is not balanced for free to play, let's be real. I mean 100%. Even if you want to clear AA full clear free to play, you need to actually like fully pull optimally, and not for characters you actually like. Like you can't even take breaks because of how fast the HP inflation is on it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people enjoying AA and liking the challenge, but it's just an objective fact that one, the rewards from AA are mostly useless and complete gamba, and two, AA has like 2-3x the health of the normal 3 endgame modes, which just makes it a lot more annoying for people to want to get into. Funnily enough, full cleared all knights but the Xander one. Nice. Debuffs in AA are much worse. Oh, 100%. And the shilling is much worse. Like, for example, in the 4.4 AA, there is a fucking 50% res pen. 50% res pen for ultimate and skill damage in the 4.4 AA. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. $50 is insane? No, seriously. It's disgusting. Oh, I haven't done Currency Wars? Um, mm, where's that Anoxa team? Oh wait, no, this is the wrong account. I don't even want the Anoxa team actually. I do endgame because there's nothing else to do in HSR, thus I care about my AA performance. Yeah, that's fine. That's for you. A ton of people play HSR for different reasons, though. A lot of people just like getting their favorites and playing them constantly, which is why I say AA doesn't matter. When it comes to MOC, dead ass, on my Anoxa account, I could probably go a year from now without pulling at all or playing the game, come back, and still clear all three endgame modes. I cannot do that with AA. I won't even be close to being able to clear AA with my Anoxa and Archer team if I take a break for a year. Which is my point. That's why I recommend people don't care about AA. Because if you start caring about AA, you're going to start making every pull off of, oh, this is what's optimal. It's not exactly what I want, but this is optimal and this is going to let me clear AA. So for the more casual players, there's no reason to give a shit about it. If you are looking for just, like, literally playing the game just to clear AA, I mean, that's fine. Like, that's your own reasoning and motivation, you know? But the majority of this games and gacha games player bases are more so casual players who just like using the characters they really like. So I'm not going to be like, yeah, do this optimal investment, do this, do this, do that, just so you can all clear AA. Fuck whatever you want. My ultimate point is that it doesn't give pulls is a bad metric because pulls from endgame never mattered. I'm not saying that everyone should care about AA. I just mean that pulls is not a real reason all endgame modes give pennies. I mean, with this logic, though, nobody should care about doing dailies either. You know what I'm saying? Like, dailies and what they contribute towards the patch pull count, it's like so small. You're losing maybe like 10 less pulls a patch most of the time. It's like so minuscule. But people still do it. The point is, people want to milk as much as they can. Like, for example, you can still benefit from getting new characters for clearing endgame content. If you really like Phanon, you pulled Phanon, you know you want to go for E2 Phanon. You benefit by being able to not only clear all endgame content, but getting those little bit of extra jades from all endgame content contribute towards E2 Phanon. It's like the same thing with logging in daily. Don't each of the three give 800 Js? That's 15 pulls? Yeah. And now there's... No, the reason I bring this up is because we are getting the Star Ward mode now. And the Star Ward mode is giving 100 Jades for each mode. So it's not just MOC 12. If you get a good team, not only does it allow you to clear all the end games, but it also allows you to clear Star Ward mode. So now, if you decide not to do this shit, right, you are actually losing on like nearly 5 pulls per patch at this point. If you don't build full teams for this entire thing. Actually, 5 is a bit of an exaggeration, but like 4, let's say, right? Which is my point. And they're probably just going to make more endgame modes that give Jades down the line as well. Like, they're definitely not going to just stop at this. They're definitely just going to add more and more. Is it a total amount of stars for 3-starring each? Yeah. And then there's the Star Ward mode. The Star Ward mode gives 100 for each endgame. So you get 300 extra per patch now if you're able to clear Star Ward. So you're missing out on 3 to 4 pulls every single patch if you don't build a team that can clear normal MOC. But once again, clearing normal MOC and clearing the normal endgame modes is like 10 times easier than clearing AA. Which is why, like, I have no problem with it. Like, you can pull leisurely. You can pull whoever you want, invest a little bit, and you're going to be able to clear. It really doesn't cost that much. My problem with AA specifically is, like, one patch, Phanon, let's say, is getting, like, a 4 or 5 cost 0 cycle against AA King. The next patch, he needs 10. Because the boss doesn't favor him. Or there's some, like, disgusting-ass shill or something going on. $300 is useless? 300 isn't useless. That's nearly 2 pulls. And there's like 9 patches a year. You're missing out on nearly 20 pulls just off of the Star Ward mode a year. Not even including the argument here of like you also miss out on like MOC 12 and PF4 and APOC 4. It would be more than that. It would be like, I don't know, like 30 pulls maybe that you lose a year. It's nothing astronomical. You can easily get away with it. But my point is like, it at least contributes to something, you know? Unlike the relics. Like, for example, there's another thing here with, like, relic farming in this game. Phanon at E2 Plus now has a new best-in-slot relic set, and it's no longer Wave Strider. You know? So it's like, I've spent months, and a lot of self-modeling resin, by the way, on my Phanon account to maximize this guy's relics, just for a new relic set to release half a year later that's better than his normal one. So now it's better for me to go to the new relic set. You know? Like, I understand 300 Jades is low value, but resin from AA is dead ass even lower value than that. It's like so So trash. It's basically a monthly pass every year. Yeah, basically. Actually, a little more. Mm. What are you eating? Just some mac and cheese. It's been a while since I've eaten mac and cheese. What's Phaenon's best in slot set? Now at E2 plus it's Himiko's. It's like a 5 to 6% jump over Wave Strider. I'd pay 120 Jades for a substat blocker. Oh, 100%. Okay, if they allowed it, if they added an item where, like, let's say you get like 3 substat blockers, and then this allows you to actually block 2 substats you want, and you can like fully focus the rolls on double crit, that would be good. Like if they implemented that system into the AA King dice, I'd say AA is like now it's much more valuable, you know? Because now you can guarantee that you get a god piece every single time after like 3 AAs, I guess. They never allow that? Oh, 100%. It's just a hypothetical. But that's like the only way I'd be able to say, like, yo, AA is actually pretty valuable, I'm not gonna lie. Because you're able to get a god piece eventually. Saw that E1 Gilga's decent for Evanesia? Yeah. She gets all his buffs. And her ult spamming gives him ult. Also attack frequency. Action advances Gilga. I seen one clear solo Gil with Siren and stuff. It was Ike barely one cycling. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like Gil's only, in my opinion, like good teams is either Ashvale Emblade or on like with Saber. I think what makes Gilga pretty nice though is that because he's free, like I've seen a few calcs floating around. Gilga even at E0S0 can be decently competitive with Triby on like the Ashvale Emblade team. So getting his E1, which is technically one cost, which gives them like defense shred, it fixes some of his energy issues. It's it's not bad. It's just that Avin is probably gonna be way better. Like that's obvious in my opinion. The main DPS literally made for the team is probably going to be better. But if you like Gilga, I don't think there's anything too wrong with it. I'm thinking of going for Cyrene Delons and skipping Phaenon's Lycone because she was able to clear APOC and he couldn't. Well, yeah. A Lycone-less, E2-less Phaenon against APOC is like the nastiest setup ever for Phaenon. 0 base speed buffs, so he's consuming a metric fuck ton of AV, and then no extra turns. Hello, Samuel. Alright, I'm done. Think they did well with the two fake characters? Yeah, I agree. Is Pearl supposed to be the Elation Sustain or just a buffer? Probably Sustain. I mean, probably both. Speed buffer who's a Sustain. E0 phase rough in general. The thing is, E0 phase like kind of a normal old E0 DPS against MOC. It's just that like his main issues at E0 are outside of MOC in Pure Fiction and APOC. Because he's a bounce damage dealer and he massively consumes AV. Would you pull for Cypher Lycone for your dot account? No. E0 phase 2.x level DPS? He isn't. He's much stronger. Unless you're using 2.x DPSs like Firefly and Acheron that just got buffed. Or them getting indirectly buffed. E0 and Oxa pre-Cyrene was unironically worse than Phenon at E0. In terms of pure fiction performance and MOC performance. He just got the better Cyrene buff in the end. When I first pulled E0 Faye when he came out, he shit on the endgame for me. Yeah. Like, he was good for the time, but it's like, it's the normal HSR thing. As power creep progresses, HP inflation increases, and older characters can't keep up that well unless you vertically invest in them. Like, E2 Phenon is still getting like 3-4 cause. He's been getting 3 or 4 cause 0 cycles for the last year. And he's still getting them. Even after disgusting levels of HP inflation happening. He's so, like... He is an E2 merchant, I'm not gonna lie. What are your thoughts on some calc showing 4.4 teams doing straight up twice the damage of premium teams? Oh, the ones I saw on Reddit? They're just gonna get nerfed. For some reason, Welt has some disgusting synergy with Himiko's decimation mode. That'll probably get fixed to be more balanced. Rin and Saber is with the ult loop. Without the ult loop in a sustain team, they're very comparable to the current best in slot teams in the game, which makes a lot more sense. And then Rin is the only one where, like, there isn't anything obvious that's wrong. It's just that she does a little too much for Archer. So Archer just fucking skyrockets in sustainless. Like, we were talking about this earlier on the stream, but Archer, similar to Faye, was clearly meant to have flaws so that they couldn't be too broken. But when you release Rin plus Nova Sparkle and basically all his flaws disappear, he ends up being incredibly and stupidly broken. That's just what happens. So I think, like, Rin's SP gen might get nerfed a bit, not gonna lie. Or her buffing capability for Archer might get nerfed a bit. The reason why so many, like, characters are suddenly jumping up in calcs is mostly because of sustainless teams, and they're being E4 Welt and M-Blade now. The best debuffers before needed, like, E2 to even try and compete against an E4 well and what's it called? Emblade. So this is leading to like all these calcs are skyrocketing because there's no sustain that could even come close to 100% plus amp. You know? That never existed before. Oh, 100%. I'm going to be completely honest. I have zero worries when it comes to Silverwolf's team aging, and no one should. They are going to get a new best in slot that massively busts them, and then they're also probably going to have tailored verticals, which makes Silverwolf's team incredibly strong by the end of all of this. Like, people shouldn't really worry about Silverwolf. And then Silverwolf gets replaced in 5.5 just like Casto did. I mean, no. Like, by 5.5, Castris will have probably gotten Nova flared. And she would have taken her spot back from Robin. Nova flares make shit like this just not even matter. Because your character eventually gets buffed. You think Robin SP Beta will start drama? There will always be drama when the most popular character from a version gets power crept. That's just naturally gonna happen. Like, she's the highest selling character in the entirety of Ampho. A ton of people own her, so they're not gonna be happy about it. But, I mean, to be honest, legit, Cassie and her Mono Rem team have aged better than any other Annie DPS in the history of this game. Like, they still hold strong and were like the top team for over a year. And at high verticals, they're still one of, if not the strongest team in the entire game. And it's about to be like a year and 3 months since she released. Like, she has aged better than any other Annie character. And there's been no Nova flares. No Nova flares. No, like, new teammate to buff her in the new version. I mean, I just mean in general. Even if you don't include Annie characters, she's the best aging of any team in the entirety of the game. From release to current. She's still relevant. Acheron got absolutely mollywopped by Mono Rem in terms of the damage difference. Meanwhile, Cassie Mono Rem is still competitive with Silverwolf. You think there will be a dot unit? No. Maybe like a Nova Jiao Q as a sustain, but that's it. Yeah, that's because, believe it or not, it might change with this version, but 2.x had 2.x to 3.0 had the largest HP inflation of like any version ever, percentage wise. Like in just Pentagony, it increased by basically double. During the Zhangzhou Luofu, it wasn't like as crazy, but there was still incremental increases. And then when 3.0 dropped, it was like another big HP inflation drop, or HP inflation spike. Ooh, come on. Come on. Let me see an E1 blade early. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Shh, 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 shh. No one talk. No one talk. No one say anything. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Listen, Dawe, I love you. Oh my god, I love HSR. Wuwa fucking blows. I hate Kuro. HSR is it. Okay? Yes! 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 Two earlies on Blade for this account. Two! Yes! That's how it's done. Thank you. Ooh, I love it. Wow. I wasn't on like a crazy amount of pity, no? That was like 20 something pity. Yeah, I got. Okay, so I got the first blade in like, what is this, 40 pulls? No, I got him in 50 pulls early. And then I got this one a little over 20 pulls later. Nice. Wow. The follow-up team is actually going to be so nice on this account now. I just need to get Ash. I'm going to get Ashvale's E1 and S1 eventually. And then I'll obviously get E2 Blade eventually. And I don't need to pull in 4.4 on this account. At all. There's nothing to pull on. So it goes straight to 4.5 with Avon and a possible Ashvale rerun. So if anybody wants a quick look, this account has E2 Cyrene, E6 S1 Fei, Evanescence Yao Guang. I'll invest in this team after I finish investing in the follow-up team. And then E00 Ashvale and E1 M-Blade. You ruined our day with this? Hey, aren't you guys happy for me? Isn't it exciting to see your Capybara win? I'm happy. I want you to get E2. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Since HP inflation convo got a bit derailed, I'm gonna repeat thoughts on Dark Sam getting 50% more HP next time we see him. Yes, I know Star Wars is partially at fault, but still. Wait, he's getting a 50% HP inflation spike? I actually did not know that. Um, the thing with Dark Sam is, I feel like he's one of the easier bosses, depending on the DPS you have, because of him stacking vulnerability, and then like just kind of imploding on himself. But yeah, it's wow, 14 from 9. Fuck. That's actually, oh, 14 to 22. Jeez. Yeah. Fuck. I mean, this game's HP inflation has always been just, a little something, I'd say. A little something. Pretty interesting. HSR HP inflation gets a bit goofy at times, yeah. I will always say, like, if you optimally invest, the HP inflation doesn't really matter. Because, like, you can just make your character slash team twice as strong by usually getting an E2 on someone. But, like, people shouldn't be expected to do that, you know? Like, 100%. People really shouldn't be expected to, like, oh, go for E2 and make your life easier. Here's the reality: a lot of people are still going to be able to clear because it's Dark Sam. Dark Sam has a ton of beneficial mechanics, and 22 million HP. Like, you can probably get like a 3 cycle, a 2 cycle, even without E2 on a new team. But I mean, there's just really no way of justifying it. You guys see that? My PC's dying. The HP inflation will go hard in the new 3-team endgame mode. I'm gonna be honest. I will take the new endgame mode just because I need the extra jades. Yes, yes, it's only 300. That's not the point. They're probably going to make more and more endgame modes that stack more jades, and I need that. Like, I'll actually take it. The more it stacks, the better. Because I am the vertical investor. I don't have a single account with one character that doesn't have an Eidolon. Like, I need at least one character on an account at E2 or something. Just to, like, rejuvenate me, you know? Oh, shit. Oh, I need to pull Ceredra for this guy. I forgot. Oh, fuck. You know what? You're E6, dude. Go fuck yourself. You're E6. I'm not giving you anything else. I'll just wait till you're Nova Flare. Um, I wouldn't say he's a perfect standard, but Pokey did Star Ward with 3 8-cost teams and only had 1 cycle left to clear, so I'm worried about the player base. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, did Mr. Pokey put it on auto? I feel like Pokey sometimes just puts shit on auto. If it wasn't on auto, then yeah, that might be bad for the casual player base. Hello, tactician. I think it's not auto. Oh, fuck. I mean, yeah. I'm not, you know, too elated about it, but at the end of the day, Jades are Jades. I'll take an extra 100, 200 Jades per patch, even if I can't full clear it. I definitely won't be able to clear it on this account for a little bit. Because on this account, I only have 2 DPS. Whoa, actually, I have Eva. I actually forgot I had Eva. So, actually, I probably can clear it on this account. Never mind. But yeah, for other people, it might be more questionable. Will you stream Wua next week? Probably not. I go over it in my last video. Like I'm trying. Okay. I got slightly remotivated to play Wua again cuz there's this new like redhead girl called Suo Ming that leaked who has a really cool design. But there's been like some leaks around like the upcoming Menjo characters, and apparently Suo Ming is supposed to be a 3rd slot support. And this isn't like one case. I was looking forward to Chisa, and she was a support. I was looking forward to Mornai, she's a support. I look forward to Rebecca, she's a support. And now this one's a support too. I'm kind of losing my motivation to even play Wua anymore because the only characters I give a shit about end up being support. Yeah, it's like I want to play Wua, but it's just so hard for me if there's no characters I'm interested in, you know? Like that has kind of been the main thing that keeps me motivated in a game. Like I love Phanon. I love how enticing this new follow-up team looks. I love Anoxa. Characters really matter for me, but like, you know, it just sucks. I look forward to Cypher and she is benched and a support. Well, yeah, but like in my case, it's happened 4 times in a row. Like the last 4 characters I've taken interest in have all. Actually, no, it's happened 5 times. I forgot about QU1. QU1, I thought would be a main DPS, and I was hella excited for, and he also ended up being a support. It's actually 5 in a row. I don't play Wua. Why is being a support bad? Supports have the least field time in Wua, and vertical investment in Wua isn't really all that strong unless you're a main DPS. So it's only in very, very rare cases where, for example, a character named Yuno, she's a sub DPS, but she has sequences slash eidolons that are really good for her main DPS, but that isn't the norm. So you have to put in 6 times the investment into support characters if you want to even have the chance of them being able to compete with actual main DPSs at normal baseline. Which I'm no offense, I don't want to play Wua for a year straight to get a main DPS as 0 baseline character. You know? Like, that's not really enough to motivate me. Also, Wua supports are kind of ass. Like, no offense. Wua supports are some of the most easily power creepable in the game unless you're like hella niche. I actually like the supports more in Wua. They actually spend some time on field instead of just like a skill or ult and dip off the field. Emblade and Ashvale are supports, but they have technically like basically main DPS animations. Yao Guang? Yeah, I guess Yao Guang fits that description because she just basic attacks after she uses her ult. But then again, she has the Elation skill, which is an extra animation. I don't really see that. I see it with the older HSR characters. Not so much the newer ones, though. The newer ones all have, like, main DPS animations, basically, despite being supports. Vertical investment is a concave slope in Wuo, while in HSR it's a steep slope. Yeah. Like in HSR, for example, Emblade. Let's say you're a fan of Emblade, but he's a support, right? If you get Emblade E2, like this guy becomes the main DPS of the follow-up team. You know? Like he's one of the strongest characters in the entire game when you get his E2 in terms of dishing out DPS. And then it's the same thing with Ashvale. Now it's not as good as like Phanon E2, but like you get this guy's E1 and E2, he's straight up a main DPS instantly. And he beats a ton of the other top teams. Which is why like Wua doesn't really have that level of investment in my opinion on their supports. Like if it was S2, S3 for main DPS, I'd be down. Like that's basically but it's just not common, Even Cyrene as well. Like Cyrene is also someone who can be ran as main DPS with like best in slot team and some Eidolon investment. I always told people like when Cyrene released, I was like, if you're a Cyrene fan, you're so lucky if you run her as main DPS because her damage output is actually like really, really high. It's actually really good. Will you get E1 Archer for this account or get Gilga? I don't even have Archer on this account. Oh yeah. This account is fresher than the other ones. Yeah, I made it at the end of the year. Um, I'd probably just get Gilga since I kind of have nothing to go off of, and I find Gilga cooler. Why do you have so many accounts? Because it's the easiest way for me to play with a ton of different characters without being a whale. If you were to grab all the characters I have across the 3 accounts I'm currently playing on and put them all in one account, in order to achieve that, I would have had to spend probably near 10 grand. You know? Like, respectfully, I'd rather just play on multiple accounts and go on them whenever I feel like there's a team or a character I want to play at the time than have them all on one account and go broke. The downside is having to redo the story. Oh, 100%. But this is why I'm revamping the way I play my accounts. Before it was like, oh, I'm playing on 3 all at the exact same time and I'm doing all these pull investments and I'm making all this content. Now it's I may return to an account I've benched if I want to get a new character, if I want to finish a team, if I want to play a character I have on that account. When I get bored of it, I'm not going to play on it anymore. I'm not touching it, right? So, yes, it's technically unoptimal because I'm obviously losing out on a fuck ton of pulls, but this way I don't get burnt out because I'm not forcing myself to do anything. I'm only playing on an account when I genuinely want to play it. Like, for example, my Anoxa account didn't play for 2 patches. Does this account have Starlit Homecoming as well, actually? Or is it gone now? No, I still have the Starlit Homecoming on this account from not logging in. So you guys can, like, see it. I have Starlit Homecoming on legit every account. Because I don't play on them actively. I love how in HSR it's the opposite. A lot of people wanted Nihilux to be a support, but she's apparently a DPS. I mean, according to Uncle Y, if his leak is true, you can make Nihilux a support DPS hybrid at E2. So, I guess for those desperate enough, you'd go to E2, and then for those who prefer main DPS, you just stay E0. Which, to be honest, okay, hot take, that's probably the best way you can do it. Okay, no. The best way you can do it is Emblade, where he's technically both. But, like, in my opinion, mains of a character, 99% of the time, would prefer their character to be the main DPS and, like, the star of the show. I've seen that be the case very often. Like, currently, bro, Gilgamesh mains, every time I get a Gilgamesh post when I'm, like, scrolling through Reddit to look at leaks and stuff and gameplays, there's a new post from a Gilgamesh main talking about how fucking, like, depressed they are that he's a sub DPS for Saber and he's not really all that good as a main DPS, right? Like, I'm constantly seeing this shit. Even though him and Saber are like one of the strongest teams in the entirety of the game, he's still technically a sub DPS, just not a main DPS. And he can be ran in Emblade plus Ashvale well. They're still not happy because he's not the one and pure main DPS like a Phanon. Oh wait, yeah. I'm definitely getting Gilga on this account. Yeah. I just realized the reason I'm gonna go for Gilga, for the person who asked earlier, I have E1 Emblade and I have Ashvale, so I can just run Gilga with these two until Avon releases. So yeah. I completely forgot that I was planning on doing that. Main character syndrome, fans want him to be the spotlight. Yeah, exactly. But it's not like just a Gilga fans thing. It's like common among a ton of people who prefer their character to be the main DPS. That's why, like, you'll see people maybe complaining about Phaenon's kit clunkiness or how his gameplay is a bit boring because there's nothing really high skill going on when you enter his ult usually. But you never see anybody complain about him kicking out his teammates and, being the solo carry in his animations because they fucking love it. Like, a mains of a character are going to absolutely eat it up if they get the Phaenon treatment 99% of the time. Congrats on E1 Emblade, thank you. Does QU1 become a DPS at S2 or S3? What's the issue? No, Brant is stronger than QU1. Not only at base, but Brant's sequences are better for buffing him to be a DPS in comparison to QU1. QU1 legit, like, Brant going to S3 is only a slightly lower jump than QU1 going to S6 from S0 in terms of buffing the damage. But then S3 and Brant and S6 QU1 are actually close, if not Brant is still a bit stronger because Brant's base damage is still higher than QU1's. Like, for example, you could get an S6 QU1 and he'd probably be weaker than the new collab team. And he'd be weaker than basically every 3.x team, actually. If Nihilux is a main DPS, she'll use the same Elation team as Eva / Silverwolf. Yeah, basically. Yao Guang is like the core support for the entirety of Elation as far as I understand it. And then if Pearl is a sustain, she'll probably be the sustain that every Elation DPS uses as well. So it would be both Pearl and Yao Guang, who are like the core characters for this entire Elation team. It'd be the first time two main push units are DPS and want the same supports. I mean, they're just both Elation, you know? Like, Elation is it's no different to Break. Break has 3 different DPSs for it, but they all use the exact same supports. It'd be the same thing for Elation. They all just use Pearl plus Yao Guang, but every single Elation main DPS is gonna have, for people's own taste. Oh, thank you for the 2 Eiffel games. 4 slot mono rem is rem. Yeah. That's what Uncle Y said. Uncle Y said that he believes the Mono Men healer is either Rekka or Mikhail, which is just old Misha. Out of the three, break DPS only one mage push. That's what I mean. Your main push is fighting for the same unit. Acheron and Fei Xiao had Robin in their best in slot teams. So it just doesn't matter. And also, once again, before, the main pushes weren't in the same archetype. In this case, two main pushes are in the exact same archetype. So obviously things are going to change. It's just that simple. Like, if Acheron were a follow-up DPS, and Fei Xiao was also a follow-up DPS, they'd both want the exact same supports that released for follow-up at that time. It's just that that wasn't what happened. But that is what's happening here if Nihilux is a main DPS. Even if Pearl is an elation sustain, there's a good chance she'll be the best sustain overall. Oh yeah, 100%. Because I mean it's just new version tax, and keep in mind they're like delaying these sustains. It's not even just new version tax. You're in the new version, and you're near the end of it when you release, versus like Dan Heng PT and Hyacine, were mid 3.x / slightly late 3.x. So these sustains are 100% going to be stronger than Hyacine and what's it called? Dan Heng PT. How much do you actually believe from that huge leak you posted? I mean, Uncle Y is highly reliable. But the thing is, things can change. Especially things that go in depth of like late 4.x and even 5.x. Like things can change from what was originally known. That's pretty normal. So, if I'm being honest, I believe almost all of it. The only thing that I found slightly fishy among all that leak is the Mono Men sustain, being Rekka or Mikhail. That's the only thing I find slightly fishy. But outside of that, everything made sense. Not gonna lie, like everything made sense. Like you can see how this would sell, how this would do. These buffs have already been leaked by other people as well. Like it makes sense. Them being remembrance is what is fishy? Yeah, that's also fishy. Don't you get bored running like this for 2 hours? Brother, I'm reading and engaging with my chat 24/7. You think I'm actually like looking at my screen and running around and like fully paying attention to my screen? Like my brain is processing something else entirely. Do some auto battle grinding? Yeah, dude. With my 95 energy, let me just auto battle and waste all my energy for nothing for no reason. So that I can get 5 minutes of stream gameplay. You know what? Why not, man? Why not? Emblade. Just do some AA? Bro, I don't care about AA, man. How many times do I need to say this? Like, I've been saying this shit for like the last year, bro. Evan is gonna want Genius like every other Quantum. Unless he has a weakness implant, I'm not using Genius. It's way too situational. Just do it for chat. I mean, the only thing I can do is a knight, a single one, because both my Emblade and Ashvale, and my what's it called, Yao Guang and Evanesia are all unbuilt, and it's only my Phanon, so I'll do like one knight clear, I guess. What do you think Casterus needs in her Nova Flare? Probably don't make her territory instantly disappear and rely on when the dragon's up. Just make the territory like a team-wide thing all the time. Probably slight early Eidolon buffs, namely her E1. It's kind of useless. And then just damage multipliers. I don't know. She doesn't really need that much because she's more recent. How do you do your second teams in MOC and Pure Fiction then? I didn't. You'll see in a second that I haven't max cleared MOC, I'm pretty sure. Because my teams couldn't hold their own, much less in an AA night. See? It was only Pure Fiction. Because in Pure Fiction, you can just farm the first 2 waves that are easy as shit and get 20k, and then my Phanon could just get 40k. This was the only one. Oh wait, I can't even do AA. I forgot. You actually need to like full clear all of this shit at least once. Wow. Tough. Where's your favorite place to walk? Plan Arcadia. It's Penacony, where you just saw there in the golden hour, and as well as Plan Arcadia. Just because, like, it's brighter over here. And there's more, like, going on because it's a newer map.
Can we please keep going like this forever?
Caster is getting replaced seems troll? Not really. Like, once again, okay, Castris is the least important on the Mono Rem team. This is what people need to understand. It's not necessarily that Robin is going to be a main DPS on the level of Cassie, but that it's not going to be optimal to have Cassie in the strongest Mono Rem team anymore, which is likely what that leak meant. So, it's Evernight main DPS with probably Robin, SP, Cyrene, and Hyacine. That's probably how it's going. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just run Cassie with M-Blade and E1 Tribby or something. AA? I can't do AA. Invest in Tribby. Oh wait, I don't have Tribby on this account. It's my Anoxa account. Fuck. Sustain, just give Cassie Hyacine and give Evernight whatever else. Cassie's the one who's more reliant on Hyacine. Or you can just use the strongest team in the game and drop Cassie for Yunli, Nova Sparkle, Tribby, and Huo Huo. That's like the strongest team in the game. So, like, I saw the calcs and it capped out at like 100 million. In a premium team. Ugh. Wolfo stocks? No, I just lied out of my ass. Do currency wars? Bro. I already did currency wars like half an hour ago. What if you just like had my voice playing, but then you went back in time to when I did Currency Wars earlier. So you like watch that while I'm talking. You know? Is that genius? Yun Li and the team already bricked. Yun Li is the strongest counter DPS in the entirety of the game. Watch it, buddy. Phanon exists, we don't count that fraud. Not even true Clara stronger. Then Yun Li plus Clara. Strongest counter DPSs in the game. Easy. Duo DPS with Tribi and Huo Huo. Annihilates all endgame content. I'm waiting for the Yun Li Nova. I'm waiting patiently so I can strike. Yun Li, Clara, Tribi, M-Blade actually sounds kind of legit. Well, the problem is that everybody's taunt fucks with the other's taunt, and so certain characters don't get counter attacks. Clara Nova when? The Clara Nova is just going to be Ilya releasing in a new part of the Fate collab. Yeah. We'll see, we'll see. I mean, they buffed Welt, so they might buff some other standard characters in the future. But I do feel like Welt's buff was kinda only because of Himiko. So, there'd have to be something Bellabog related for Clara to probably get a buff. You guys won't be laughing when finality slash permanence is a counter path. Eh. We'll see. We'll see. I just want there to be a meta lolly outside of Tribby. It's already been over a year. It's getting overdone. Make like one a DPS or something. Do like the sand drone thing, where it's like a small character but with like a big ass robot. Silver Wolf and Sparkle. True. Do I build Yun Li? No. No. We are completely trolling right now. That's Clara? Yeah, but I mean meta and new. You know? I wouldn't exactly say that Clara's like exactly the most meta character that this game has. Might be a bit presumptuous of me, but correct me if I'm wrong. Clara Nova? I mean, I wish, man. Yun Li fun? Yeah, Yun Li's fun. But, I don't know about building her for clearing. But yeah, she's fun. Cute. We will get a male meta team, but not a lolly one, sadly. I mean, yeah, that's not really surprising. I'll just keep using Tribby. Wait for the Yun Li Nova, and then that should work. I remember being happy about Yun Li 500k, now those numbers are nothing. Sad, sad days, man. I still can't believe people said Plan Arcadia looked like Penacony. I swear this shit looks nothing like Penacony. Should have future-proofed your Yun Li with E2. Oh yeah! I remember when I made a horizontal versus vertical investment video, and I talked about how horizontal is better. Bro, some guy was like, "Ah, you're so wrong. I got E2 on my Yun Li, and she's destroying. Nothing's gonna power creep my Yun Li for the next 1 year plus." And keep in mind, at this time, Thirda already released, and Thirda was stronger than E2 Yun Li. And just look at where Thirda is now in comparison to like the newer DPSs. Tribby's still the GOAT? Oh, 100%. I love Tribby. Res pen, vulnerability, E1 that's broken in pure fiction and with AoE characters, DDD abuse. I'm actually curious if she'll get like either Golden Token or Nova somewhere in 5.x. I'd take it. I remember when Acheron hitting 1 mil was the peak. Now 1 mil is standard for supports. Yeah. M-Blade can hit 1 mil in favorable enemy lineups. So that is true. E2 Yunli kind of underwhelming. Yeah, but during 2.x, early Eidolons weren't as valuable as they are these days. So people even going from like 50% stronger, E0 to E2 was considered impressive in 2.x. Now, you'd expect that from like an E1 for a main DPS. And E2, you'd expect like basically double the performance. But back in 2.x, it was just different. The strongest E2 for a main DPS in the entirety of 2.x was like Fei Xiao's. And that was like 70 or 80%. S1 or E1 Ashvale for E2 Blade and Gilga? I mean, his E1 is just stronger, no? His S1, if I remember correctly, is like 20% vulnerability. His E1 on average is 30%. So it's 10% more. What do you think Silverwolf's E2? It's good. If I remember correctly, it's like Cassie level E2, but that's including only 1 extra turn and not the cap of 2, which should be possible in the future when the team gets finished. So when you include the second extra turn, it's probably more than even Cassie's E0 to E2 jump, which hers isn't bad. It's like 80%. So Silverwolf's will be like 100% plus. What's the strongest E2 right now? It's still Phaenon's. Was Firefly the first E2 merchant? Kinda. Because back then you couldn't do damage when enemies weren't broken. So getting an extra turn after break to make sure you get in more attacks in like that break span was really, really nice for Firefly. Not M-Blade? No. It's still Phaenon. Oh, for 4.x, not total? Oh yeah, true. Dill was the first E2 merchant. That's right. It was Dill. But, for 4.x, the number 1 E2 merchant, it's either Evanesia or it's M-Blade. Yeah. I'd say it's probably M-Blade. Because M-Blade E2 makes him not only disgusting in the follow-up team, but it makes him disgusting in like any ult damage DPS's team. Because they get buffed way more. Not Silverwolf? No. Because Silverwolf can't take full advantage of her E2 and non-shield currently, I'm pretty sure. Alright, chat. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for the conversations. Hope you have a great day.